My husband and I have 2 kids, ages 2 and 4. We married when I was pregnant with the 4-year-old, and have been together just over 5 years total. About 6 months ago, my husband asked me to have sex with another man while he watched. I was not 100% comfortable with it, but he asked a few times and I eventually agreed. I had a couple of rules, like whoever he found had to have a recent and clean STI test because husband didn't want condoms used, I was on birth control, and he had to set it all up, and that was the extent of my involvement until the event itself. He found a friend willing to do it. Husband said he was sure he wanted this and begged me to go through with it. I did, and he left within a week, citing this as his reason. He's now telling anyone who will listen that the friend and I cheated. The friend told the truth, but obviously no one believes that my husband asked his friend to fuck me. If someone has asked me about it, I've told the truth, but no one believes me either. I've been cut off from my husband's family due to this, and as my husband is not currently in contact with me or the kids have been cut off as well, which is hurting them. Most have just gone silent on me, but the few who have reached out have not been kind. It was our younger child's birthday a few days ago, and we arranged to do something with just family, grandparents, aunts/uncles, cousins, all dad's side, and no one came. My brother ended up dropping by, but that was a surprise as he wasn't invited as I'm low/no contact with most of my family, so my kids have primarily interacted with their dad's family, and that's the side they're more attached to. It's been about 4.5 to 5 months since the friend, and a month ago, I found out I was pregnant. I had plenty of sex with my husband both before and after, but the fact I also had sex with the friend, and my only protection has clearly failed, cannot be overlooked. I'm now starting to show. I need to know who the father is. My husband isn't speaking to me, not even to discuss a divorce or the kids, and I don't even know where he's living right now, but if I ask the friend to get tested and my husband finds out, this whole situation becomes significantly worse. There are a couple of aspects I need help with, so I'd be grateful for any help on any of them. What do I do about my husband's family, who the kids adore and really want to speak to? What do I do about my husband, who is ignoring our kids? What do I do about the baby? Do I talk to the friend first or my husband? Neither of them? Both? What's the safest way to go about this? Update. I went for a DNA test and ran it against a cheek swab from my 2-year-old, and the result suggests they are full siblings. I told my husband, who has said he will be arranging his own paternity test. I called a solicitor and we're trying to start legal proceedings. Unfortunately, I live in a country with very specific rules around divorce, so the easiest way to end my marriage would be if my husband filed for divorce, claiming I cheated. It is still possible for me to apply for a divorce, but it's more complicated as he hasn't been gone long enough to claim desertion, and hasn't done anything divorce-worthy in the eyes of the law, so I'm leaving the specifics to my legal rep and hoping they can sort it, but we informed my husband, and we're kind of hoping he files first on grounds of adultery. While adultery shouldn't affect the outcome of the divorce splitting assets and custody, though my legal reps are checking our prenup, and 50-50 custody is the norm here, I intend to go for full custody as he has ignored the kids since he left, and even when he was here, I was by far the more involved parent. When I told him I was pregnant, which was after I told him about my plan for divorce, he then sent me several messages saying he forgives me for cheating and he wants to be a family. I had asked his friend to contact Snapchat to recover the old messages in which my husband asked him to fuck me, and when I went to ask him for an update, the friend appeared to have blocked me. I have also received roses from my husband, with a note reiterating that he forgives me, he loves me and the kids, and he wants to make this work for the baby. I don't even know where he got my new address. As he has not offered an alternative explanation at this point, I'm going with the general consensus on my last post, which is that my husband has manipulated me into cheating on him so he can divorce me while getting as much sympathy as possible. New developments suggest the baby has ruined this plan. I'm also assuming that if the paternity test shows the baby isn't his, he will divorce me, though based on the siblingship test this baby is his, which means my marital status is in the hands of a prick.
I don't really know if Reddit can offer me anything except comfort and justification for my rage. But maybe I'll feel better posting my troubles here. Advice welcome. My fiancé, 27, and I, 26, have been together for about 3 years. Early in our relationship, he asked me about my sexual history. I have had what I feel is a reasonable number of sexual partners over the years, between 15 and 20. Now I didn't know this at the time, but it turned out that I was only his third sexual partner, and both previous ones had been long-term, 3 years plus, girlfriends. He had always been deliberately vague about his past, apparently so as not to scare me off. I'd always thought he was ashamed of a very high number. The low number, revealed to me much later, surprised me a lot. He's confident, handsome, smart, witty, responsible, family-oriented and is extremely successful in his career. I have been lucky enough to have dated some great guys, but he is by far the best catch I have ever met. I was always under the impression that he had panties falling all around him. Turns out that he was a late bloomer. He was awkward in high school and shy in college. He settled for 2 unfulfilling relationships, his words, not mine, over 9 years because he didn't know he could do better. Not knowing all this history about him, I had inadvertently rubbed his face in my sexual experience. His chuckling and manner of making a joke about everything made me think he was enjoying listening to my past. I never imagined he was jealous, he didn't seem the type. We have been engaged for 6 months and about a month ago, I started talking about setting the wedding date in passing. He has always been very clear that he wants to start a family before 30 and that was our understanding when we got engaged. That's when he breaks it to me. Apparently, the bastard is jealous of my past, in a way that he can't move past. Ready to go feminist on his ass. I asked him if he thought I was a slut for having had sex with so many men. He said that wasn't a problem at all. He loved that I had so much experience. Way to make a girl feel slutty. However, it seems he would never be happy together unless he had slept with a similar number of women. He thinks he missed out on his youth by being in committed relationships and wants to live the life I lived when I was in college. His mind seems to be closed to the fact that I regret most of those encounters and that this relationship is so much more meaningful. Over the last month, I fought with him, reasoned with him, argued with him and did everything short of hitting him to make him see reason. But he seems set on his scheme. He is quitting his job, going to graduate school and making a mission out of sleeping with as many women as will let him. Fuck him. The idea of an open relationship is at the back of my head, but I'm not really sure I could handle that. I guess I'm just going to have to come to terms with the fact that I wasted the last 2 years of my life being committed to a bastard. I'm keeping the fucking ring, to melt. I hate men. What's your advice on where I go from here? Reddit.